Alright, welcome ladies and gentlemen. Ike Perlmutter, the single largest stockholder of Disney, is not the single largest stockholder of Disney anymore. In an amazing turn of events, Ike Perlmutter, the guy that literally sold Marvel to Disney, yep, that is a thing that happened, doesn't have any more of his Disney stock. Yeah, Ike Perlmutter has sold his entire Disney stake. This is huge news. Not small news, this is huge. And as you can see, the market's not good. The market is not good. News breaks today that this happened, and it tanks. I mean, the stock was bad anyway, and it has just tanked. So hit subscribe if you're new here, guys. Do turn those bell notifications on. We're going to take a look at this because I've been following, obviously Disney stock is interesting anyway, but I've been following this situation with Ike Perlmutter, Nelson Peltz, and it's quite a big thing. So let's take a look, shall we? So just real quick, for those that don't know, for those that can't remember, or just as a quick refresher, Nelson Peltz is the activist investor of Trian Fund Management. He came in 2022 and said to Disney, he bought a bunch of stock and said to Disney, hey, you know, we're going to do a proxy war for board seats. Now, at the time, he backed off. You know, he made some moves, but he ultimately backed off. And he backed off because Bob Iger said, we're going to make some changes. All right, we're going to make some changes. We're going to implement basically what you want us to implement. Now, Bob Iger looked like he was doing some of those changes. At the time, though, which I don't think Nelson Peltz or Ike Perlmutter thought would happen, Bob Iger then sacked Ike Perlmutter, just completely got rid of him, which was seemingly vindictive. It seemed quite like it was a vindictive move. Seemingly was revenge, but a bit sinister behind it. And then nothing really changed under Disney at that point, to be fair. Nothing really changed at all. In fact, the stock got worse. I think it got down to as low as 70. Maybe, I don't know. I think it was about 70 odd. We can actually have a look, to be fair. I mean, year to date alone, 90 there, 1 year as well. I think it got down to about 79 is the lowest. 79, yeah, you see it there. So 79 was the lowest. Pretty bad. Pretty bad. This is 1 year. So it didn't, you know, it wasn't doing very well. So then, who came back up? Nelson Peltz. So year to date, this was when Nelson Peltz popped back up and announced he was going to be doing his proxy war again. Right? This is when it started to ramp up. The markets responded to Nelson Peltz. It started to go up. It started to go up, go up, go up, go up to here. Tuesday the 2nd of April. Now, Tuesday the 2nd of April is the highest the stock has been for a while. Not, you know, it's not the highest it's ever been. This got over like 200 at one point, but it was the highest it had been for a while. And that is because, for those, again, not aware, that's because people thought Nelson Peltz would get board seats. Okay? Nelson Peltz actually partnered with Ike Perlmutter to get those board seats. He used Ike Perlmutter's controlling stock, or got control of his stock, because Ike Perlmutter is the single largest shareholder, about 4 billion or so in Disney shares, quite a high amount. And then it was announced that Nelson Peltz did not get board seats, and then it's been a downward spiral ever since, actually. And then here, just here, is actually 6th of May, is where it was then announced that Nelson Peltz had sold all of his stock, and then it tanked again, and then it's been just going down ever since, and then we have today. What happened today? As you can see, opening fine 94 to now. Well, opening was yesterday, sorry, 94, and then to now 90. What happened today? All the news broke that Ike Perlmutter had sold his shares. And then people are like, yeah, this isn't good stock anymore. Actually, this is real bad. So this is the report that has caused it to tank even further. Ike Perlmutter, a major Disney stockholder who lent his shares to support a shake-up on the company's board, has now sold all of them and is moving on. Just done. Just fucking had enough. According to a Wall Street Journal report. When we reached out through a spokesperson, Perlmutter, who accumulated the holding when he sold Marvel to Disney in 2009 for more than $4 billion, didn't disavow this. This is what you get, Bob. You really did screw over the wrong people. Disney is a sinking ship. Look, I can't advise stock, but I would never buy Disney stock. It's been overvalued massively for ages. This is just controversy after controversy going down now. This is just being kept afloat by bigger, more sort of corporate shareholders. That's the only thing that's keeping it afloat. It's not the products. It's not the value that it puts into the market. So Perlmutter had supported Nelson Peltz in a first run at Disney board in 2022. Although he backed down, Disney began to restructure, saying he was ultimately unsatisfied by the turnaround efforts and worried about succession. Peltz then started a campaign again, and then obviously lost it, and then it started to tank. So the former Marvel executive was ultimately fired by Disney after Bob Iger returned as CEO. Ike and Nelson were working together to try to encourage the board or convince the board to put Nelson on the board, Iger said then. They have a relationship that dates back quite some time. We bought Marvel in 2009. I promised Ike the job that he would continue to run Marvel after that, not forever necessarily. In the second round, Perlmutter gave Peltz authorization to vote his shares as the billionaire founder and CEO of Triumph Partners, sought 2 board seats, one for himself and one for former Disney executive Jay Rasulo, meaning Disney shareholders would have had to eject 2 board candidates backed by the company. Perlmutter sold his entire position of 25.6 million shares in the months after the vote, said the Wall Street Journal, citing communications with an investment advisor seen by the publication, specifically who sold his stake between early April and mid-July at an average price of just under $115. So if we're looking at the just under $115, I mean, it has to be all around. I mean, it literally has to be from, well, from here, actually. Here, yeah, as it started to go down again. 11th of April, it started to go down. And then it never really recovered. And then it goes up too much for him to sell it at that statement. So, yeah, you can see as he started to offload it. Wow. Can't actually be overstressed how huge this is for Disney. Now they're around $90 a share. Like, that's bad. That's really, really bad. So, in a parting dig, this is Ike Perlmutter, he told the publication it's because he doesn't have confidence in management and that he might be a buyer again if it falls to $65 to $75. Basically, dog shit pay. But also meaning that he can grab significant more shares and then maybe come back and control it. Disney stock is trading down 3% today at 91. It's even lower than that now. And it's been as high as 124 and as low as 79 over the past year, which is true. But I think it's going to go down even lower now. I think we will see this just keep going down. I mean, we're now at, where we're at now. I mean, it's pretty bad, isn't it? That is pretty bad. That's real bad, guys. That is not good. That's not good. Not good at all. Huge shake-up at Disney. Bob Iger will be pissed. They've got nothing that they're putting out that could raise anything. The only thing which would have changed things was Deadpool and Wolverine news, but even that can't counteract this. This is a really big deal. So leave your thoughts down below. Do hit subscribe if you're new here. Support the channel further via my Patreon. It's the first link down below. Cheers guys, take care. Bye bye now.